Hello. Today we are beginning another Incoterm. Incoterms 2020. We will be talking about CPT, Carriage Paid To. We all know Incoterms 2020 started this year in January. My name is Humaira. I regularly take sessions for CDCS, Certified Documentary Credit Specialist. Recently, I am launching my website, Success to CDCS. Here you can find the entire material related to all the 25 chapters of CDCS, the video recordings, the PowerPoint presentations, the document examination, the basket and the simulation, and also practice tests. So, we are taking up this examination to come out with success. In the meantime, I'm taking up this Incoterms in the YouTube to help everyone to know what it is about. We all know that there is an exporter in a country. Here we can see in the slide, he's in Beijing, China. There is an importer in India. Now, when the exporter exports the goods to India, that is, the importer imports it, it goes through a process. There is, from the exporter's warehouse, there is an inland transport. Then it comes to the port. You can see Shanghai port here. Then there is the customs which has to be paid. There are inland charges at the terminal. Maybe freight forwarder charges in handling the logistics. Then from the ocean freight after payment, it lands in Mumbai port. Then again the customs, the inland transport to the buyer's factory. So what is that we need to know in this? What will be the delivery point where the responsibility of the seller transfers to the buyer? So based on these different delivery points, 11 Incoterms have been defined by ICC. Incoterms stands for International Commercial Terms. And ICC brought out 11 Incoterms, and the main criteria is the delivery point. So Incoterms actually talk about the obligations related to the buyer and seller, the risk, the cost, the party responsible for packing, loading, security related, landing charges, unloading charges, then terminal charges, all these, and the responsibility at the delivery point. So, there are 11 Incoterms, and we find that 4 Incoterms are in the exporting country. One is ex-work with the letter E, and there are 3 Incoterms with the letter F, free carrier, FAS, and FOB. And then there are 4 Incoterms with letter C in the main carriage. Cost and freight, cost, insurance and freight. Carriage paid to, carriage and insurance paid to. Finally, in the import destination country, we have 3 Incoterms with the letter D. That is the destination Incoterms. DPU, delivered at place unloaded. DAP, delivered at place. DDP, delivered duty paid. So here today we will be discussing about carriage paid to. And you can see on the top, beside CPT, it is written place. That means the place has to be defined. So CPT can be used for any mode of transport. It could be by road, it could be by rail, it could be by sea, it could be by air. So you can see there is a truck, there is a ship, there is an aircraft. So CPT can be used for any mode of transport. For ocean delivery, CPT is used for containerized cargo. For ocean delivery, CPT is used for containerized cargo. Whereas for bulk cargoes like iron ore, wheat, CFR is used. So here what does the seller do? Seller, that is the exporter, you can see to the left side. He is in Beijing, China. The importer on the right side, you can see he is in Pune. Now, the importer is importing some inverters from exporter in China. So how does the seller arrange the transportation in this CPT Incoterm? Seller arranges the transportation and cost to the named place of destination. To the named place of destination. So the exporter in his warehouse, he does all the packing. Then he loads them in the truck, inland transportation. Comes to the port, Shanghai port, pays the customs, the logistic handling charges, the freight forwarder, terminal charges at Shanghai port, then loading onto the vessel. So the risk is transferred once the goods are delivered on board at this first carrier. Loading and unloading at the named place is negotiated by the buyer and seller. So from Shanghai port it is coming to the Mumbai port. From Mumbai port it is transported to his factory in Pune. So let us say the terminal in Mumbai is XYZ terminal. So the buyer is responsible for transportation to his factory from this XYZ terminal in Mumbai. So how do we write it in our field 45A in our MT700? Along with description of goods, 100 inverters. This is the name place. So it will be CPT XYZ Terminal Mumbai, India, Incoterms 2020. So what does that mean? That means the seller will pay till Mumbai terminal. If it is written CPT Shanghai, then seller will pay only till the Shanghai port. So this is very important criteria for us to know. The seller is making the payment till the terminal in Mumbai. Or if you write CPT Shanghai is paying only till Shanghai port. Whereas the risk is transferred at the first carrier as soon as the goods are on board the vessel at the first carrier. So what is that we find in CPT? Let us summarize. The seller in his warehouse does the packing of the goods. Then he loads it onto the truck, the loading charges. Then he takes the delivery to the port. Then he pays the export duty, taxes, security clearance. Then at Shanghai port, he pays the origin terminal charges. Then loading. Then the carriage charges from Shanghai port to Mumbai port. Then at destination terminal charges. So all this is in CPT, carriage paid to. This is a very important Incoterm for ocean delivery. CPT is used for containerized cargo. It can be used for any mode of transport. The risk is transferred to the buyer once delivered at the first carrier. But the seller will pay till the named place of destination. So these are the two things we need to consider in CPT. Thank you.